Thank you guys, thank you for coming. It's a pleasure being here. Yesterday, I've met so many amazing people. You know, it would be awesome if I could change the slides. Would be awesome. How can I do it? I should clap? Can I get a remote? Sorry, I had myself distracted. You're amazing. Yesterday I talked with a lot of you and that inspired me to change this talk drastically. So you can see I've had all of those very flashy, bangy titles like mind-blowing user experience, like I even disclosed the secret name already in the slides. I'm not a great product presenter. Never been, never was. But let me give you some context. And before we do, can you give a round of applause for my wife for doing these beautiful memojis of me? Please, she would appreciate it. Alexandra, that's for you. So, let me give you some context. I myself started coding at the very early age, and I was always passionate about some technologies. And back in the day, I fell in love with React. And I was thinking, how can I apply it to my work? Because back then I was just a front-end developer at Scandiweb, and I was thinking, what can we do? And I've looked at what Magento offered at the time with PWA Studio concept, and I wasn't really that much impressed. It wasn't featureful. I decided to build my own, you know. And I got too attached for it, right? I was very idealistic. I was pushing it to my company, pushing that on the conferences without actually believing in it for... I think I've missed few opportunities to jump on Hyvä adoption early, and that wasn't that great. But I went to a therapy session, and I think I fixed myself. I found a new passion. I focused on improving processes within my company, and as a CTO, I found myself pretty much learning what goes wrong and trying to fix it. Making small improvements step by step, accumulating them together in some package that we can reuse internally to make our delivery more efficient. And I love doing that. And I wanted to say one thing. I'm working on optimizing developers' life, making it easier, but there are people in this room who do it much, much better than me. And can we give a round of applause to a Hyvä theme creators and the team now maintaining it for doing such an amazing job? Please, guys, let's do it. Guys, I can imagine actually how hard it is to manage a product, to keep it reliable, stable, your efforts in backwards compatibility, everything you do is, it's just, I don't know, amazing. Thank you for making development fun again. Me and my team is appreciating your work every day, and this is amazing. Not but let's continue. At our scale, Hyvä is pretty much free. Our clients are large and $1,000 is nothing. And I only felt good if we can share what we've built. And I am very grateful for Scandiweb for providing me with opportunity to have all of those developers to help me build things that I find interesting. Thank you, Antons. Also, as a member of a community and not a maintainer of a really reliable product that powers thousands upon thousands of stores worldwide, I don't feel the pressure of trying to introduce new technologies. Because I just can. I'm just a simple guy, right? So, we set out to create a toolchain which would help build websites faster. And let's take a quick peek into what we've done. Interesting, why is it like this? The eye should be on the previous slide. First, let me begin with a simple pain point that we encountered very quickly. It was about identifiers used every time you want to declare a new data object, X-data definition. And I felt like it's not optimal and we can do better. And we also felt like it could be nice to have all the logic in one place. I just felt like it and I thought maybe we should do it. So we decided to try, and we've pretty much moved the majority of the logic out into a single place where it's managed. And that opened up some possibilities. Next slide will tell you more about it. But in general, that allowed us to simply reuse data objects all across it. And today I talked to Vinay about why was it like this originally. And well, it's legacy, I guess. Like always, you're building something on a technology that wasn't that, I don't know, that didn't have such APIs before. So it just doesn't. And maybe it's time for us to add them because as mentioned before, going open source and sharing is caring. Another thing we are really faced a lot was issues related to type safety, something being null or undefined. That's so painful. I just don't want to hear about this anymore. How can we fix it? Well, go for a TypeScript and don't use any types, right? So why not? I can, so I did. And we had this one place with all of our data definitions, and we just made it type safe. So it really helped us to avoid any issues and allowed to reuse type definitions when we communicate from one data object to global stores. By the way, global stores, we'll talk about it in a second. Reusability of features was paramount to speedrun development. Basically, you have to avoid repeating jobs. Like, I'm so tired of listening for resize events and then trying to adjust my logic based on it. I think I have tens, I wanted to say thousands, of course just tens, cases like this in all of my templates. And I don't really enjoy doing that. And besides, there are other features that could use some putting together in one place. So we used global context in order to put together useful features like scroll management, like screen resolution, listening, and stuff like that. So it's always there, always available for you. Just do $.store and reference whatever object you want there, like is mobile or something similar. And then we really like to do Ajax forms with fun error handling and not trying to reload the page and stuff like this. My account deserves it, newsletter deserves it, and I think it would be nice. I thought it would be nice to make something that would solve that right away. So again, building on that global data set, global data objects, we just took it and made it work with forms. And we made it compatible with all of the reCAPTCHA functionality, error handling functionality. And again, when building forms, just declare it on top or anywhere in you want pretty much. You don't have to do it on form. Just in this case, it's there. And then use it. And then the form will be submitted. You will get your errors dynamically loaded into your data context. And you can use it to render them where you want them to be rendered. And I think that's nice. That's just a teeny tiny small improvement. But together, I think that makes a better experience for at least my team. And then we have reusable directives because I figured Alpine is so extensible and I love how easy it is to define stuff there. Like you do @click. Wow, so cool. So easy. Oh, it reminds me of view times, but yet, remember, we can extend this functionality with Alpine with quite an ease. So we tried to build on top of Alpine what Alpine suggested, and we introduced many different directives that you can use in your projects to make your life just a tiny bit easier. And this case, it's a small improvement again. Alpine JS have teleports, right? But it requires a string of elements, and I'm not enjoying that because I want my things to teleport around. Like in this case, see, I have horizontal filters that on mobile appear in pop-up, and on desktop, I have them in accordions. In a normal world, I would have to just copy-paste the logic, but as you all know, copy-pasting the logic is crazy inefficient. Try to make a change in this code base, you would need to copy it around, you will forget something, it would lead to problems, your QA will be angry, nobody wants that. And I don't specifically, so why not just teleport some not SEO efficient things around? We can have a very lengthy discussion about using templates and their effect on SEO, but yes, we can, and I'm open to that. And thank you guys from Hyvä for solving this for us. You did it better than I did, and I'm grateful. Thank you for your existence, because I'm so tired of building page builder things. It's so hard, yet we tried to make life of our people easier. You see, there is a small demo of management of those sections. We tried to make it live update. We have some approach developed internally that helps to do it faster, and you can learn from us. But you better just buy Hyvä Commerce, right? Because I think the work the guys put there is just paramount. Let's give them a round of applause for that, please. And you know, furthermore, I would say that the feature that they have built is much more superior than what even Shopify offers. Because I've worked with it a lot. Just as a side note, Satoshi was originally built for Shopify using the Hyvä stack. So you can do your themes on Shopify now using Hyvä stack. We also plan to open source that solution. And I was asking a Hyvä team, like, maybe you guys should consider other platforms because your stack is very good. And we have so many agencies in the room who would love to avoid teaching their developers new technology stack. Maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's not. I'm not here to speak about Shopify. But that's not my only passion. Optimizing processes is fine, nice, and interesting, yet I'm an ex-frontend developer, and you can see by the slides, I'm very passionate about doing nice user interfaces, building user experiences, and making them seamless. I really want Hyvä to be known for that, not only for performance and ease of development, because the technology that they provide can go very far. And I wanted to push it to what I consider the limits. Because I'm not smart enough to go beyond that, but I know if we put our heads together, I'm sure we can bring it even further. And that's why I'm open sourcing it. Yet let's not get ahead of ourselves. So how can I bridge those two things together? Well, quite simple. You get all of your improvements, small improvements together, put it into a Swiss Army knife for building seamless user interfaces, and then you put on top a demo that kills two birds with one stone. First of all, it provides you guys with a great example of each of those utilities at use. Because I know from experience, by writing a lot of documentation, that the theory knowledge is left in the docs. And it's quite much more easier, and you guys know it because you have created a UI library, which is amazing example of practical knowledge sharing. And that's what I wanted to do, make a demo to share practical knowledge. And also I wanted to showcase my vision just a little because I can't get around from that feeling, powering different stores all around the world with Scandiweb. I just want a tiny bit of that glory. Sorry, I'm still too young to be just realistic. So meet Satoshi. Meet it. Say hello, everyone. I don't hear it. Say hello. Hello. Welcome to an open source Hyvä concept theme for exploring seamless user experience and sharing those small improvements with community. And of course, it requires a Hyvä license. And if you don't have one yet, you are a weirdo, right? Let's take a quick peek at a demo of Satoshi. Don't critique my vision. That's how I see a modern user experience. And I think it stands out. The goal here is not to create something usable for everyone. I never had this goal in mind. I only wanted to showcase how amazing could a website feel, so anyone looking at it would have an opinion. And what I was hearing when showing this demo to people is that, I love mobile experience, it feels so native, wow. Your desktop is too risky and I can't even put it in front of my clients, they won't understand it, look at it. Oh my God, everything is moving, it's so crazy. And that's exactly what I was going for. You know, like with a wireframes talk today, it's important to have a reference to a client before you can actually proceed to implementing something good for it. So I want you guys to take this theme, make it your own, and maybe show it to your client so they can feel what great experience could look like. And then you can take those tools, put it to good use, and make your client websites even better. This is a showcase how a cool user experience could feel like. At least how I see it. Make it your own, because it is going open source. And I wanted to highlight here that I'm tired of competing. I am not building another product. Never again. I'm bad at this, literally. So I want this to be a help for all of you in this room and beyond, if you're watching. Look, where's the camera? Here, look at me, yes, you. I want you to try it. Let's take a look what we have packed inside and what I consider a seamless user experience. So I always thought that it is cool that native applications always keep you in context. They show you where you are now, where you could go next, and the things just shift around you while you're just sitting there and watching it happen. And I think that's what defines, to me, a good mobile experience. You don't notice interactions. Nothing distracts you from your browsing experience. You felt focused on a thing at a time, but you also are aware of your context. Nothing pops onto you, nothing moves from the left to the right. It's just always things happen as you expect them to. If something takes less space than needed, there is no white space. Look at those filters. Or look at yourself when going to the demo link, right? Preview pics. Sorry, I forgot to say a thing. Look at this left code. You might be very confused. Why are we doing dynamic template rendering? That's weird. I agree. That's an arguable solution. Why I've did it this way? Well, because I felt like layout XMLs are, well, so I know you might feel different, and please go ahead, express it to me, find me, or join our insider program and write me on email that you hate this approach. And I want you to do it because I'm fine with that. This just works better for us. Something could work better for you. Again, make it your own. Remember I told you we extended Alpine JS a lot to make it, to have a lot of directives that help you build such experiences? Well, this is a showcase of one of them. If you want a link to open a preview, all you need to do, just add X element transition trigger equals preview. Don't animate. Just, right? But it's still just, because once you get to use it, it feels natural. Don't look at this title, media content breadcrumbs, because this is this is what I want to talk a little bit later about. Optimistic add to cart and seamless cart management. So remember I mentioned Alpine stores, global stores. I talked to you yesterday about this, asking questions, and I named it Alpine JS context. Oh, I apologize for that. That's my React nature speaking. But in general, the thing about this is, imagine how more convenient it is to have your cart items available to you at any time. Imagine how simple it is to just call a function to add to cart, remove from cart, do whatever you want with the cart, and it will just dynamically update. So you can use your cart, address your cart from PDP, PLP, cart, anywhere you want. Put the homepage element that manages the cart if you really want to go for it. But in the end, I feel like global stores open up more flexibility for development, and I wanted to include it. So I did. Right, seamless image zoom is a showcase of data stores at use. I just always felt like Instagram-like image zoom on mobile is a thing, and nobody does it because it's hard to control all of those tabs, tracking different zooms and stuff like that. So I just did it because I felt like I can. And again, all you need to have it in your application, just get the image zoom data definition, data object definition, and use it. Well, it's done pretty much. Nothing else is needed. Seamless filtering and sorting is another showcase of global stores. Well, I always felt like filtering should be dynamic without reload. Just go Ajax and then just update the things. Because, well, it opens up possibilities. And this is not perfect implementation. You see, there is stuff to work on. You wait without anything changing. I would love to have placeholders here so user immediately sees the change. Otherwise, it's confusing. But as any product, it's not perfect. Saying about this as a product, I'm not sure how to reference Satoshi. But it's not perfect. And we have a roadmap to fix things. But we are sharing it now because, as mentioned in one of the talks, it's good enough if it's 80% good, right? So another thing about managing products, I felt like it would be nice to have loading of products in line, easily implemented. And in general, we created a pagination directive in Alpine that allows you to easily implement paginations, like in comments, like in product lists, anywhere you have them. Just because we could, and because it saves time overall, you don't have to re-implement or copy code around. And all it does, it just appends the part that it loads from the other page, and it works with Ajax, so it's quite natural. And I feel like as a user, it's very convenient to just see the previous page right away without going back. This is controversial. You see, I hate when you scroll gallery or the products down, and then you need to scroll to the bottom before you can scroll to the description and read it in full. Because sticky is only one direction. It's either sticky to the top, and then you scroll down when the title goes together, and then you have to get to the end, and then you finally can read. So we made a simple extension again to Alpine directives to make it possible to make elements sticky from top and from the bottom. Because we could again, and I think it's a very nice feature. I found it on H&M website. Good job, H&M. Nice one. I know you're watching, right? Instant product search is one of the features that threw me back into Scandi PWA years, because we did it using GraphQL. In the end, we have the API. Why not just plug it in? So we can search for categories and product instantly. You don't have to do it using some additional providers of search, right? It's good enough. It works, and it has beautiful like loading indicators and stuff like that. So it's just a small improvement, but it's again made simple by utilizing the global stores, because you have global store search, and then you can just have it there, and you can reference your search results later on your search page. It's easy, it's simple, right? But it's arguable. Maybe we could have done this using simple X data now when I think about this. But Optimistic navigation is one complex thing that I tried to explain to Vinay today. I hope I pronounce your name right. Good. So, what is that all about? Well, you know, you're already loading your models of those categories and stuff like that when you are getting those titles for the menus. Why not just take a little bit more data out there, like, I don't know, image and something else, and just use it to render the next page while the page is loading. It's easily achievable, and you don't have to rely on a network connection for user interaction to get response. So as you can see on this demo, if somebody gets to the link on the category, it shows the layout of a category and it then loads the products once it's done actually fetching it from Magento. This website doesn't have CDN. We launched it like on a simplest instance we could, so that's quite useful. And then imagine browsing from 3G in a metro. You would already see that something happened. You landed to your category. I call this perceived performance, because Hyvä pushed performance quite far. And we had another discussion about if a performance could be pushed even further. Maybe those small improvements like reusing data stores and stuff like this could save bytes. But then again, with modern compressions, it might not be the case. So maybe we should go about perceived performance if the product is already providing, Hyvä product, already providing a good enough base and foundation for building just general performance better. Oh, and then we, page transitions, right? That's also needed to be made simple because these modern APIs, they are interesting. So we've made it simple. We allowed you to declare areas, we allowed you to declare source and destination elements, and just have links that trigger the animation. You have seen the examples before. When you add .animate to the link, it makes it runs any transitions if the trigger was bound, if the trigger was in the context of this transition area. Sorry for a complex talk, but finally I can do that because you will understand what I'm talking about. So this is implemented using Page Transition API, and you can have it in your theme, right, and use it. And I want you to try it because I think it makes for an amazing browsing experience. You feel like you are at home. Look, here's the roadmap. Scan this link if you would like to visit the demo store and browse it yourself. It's available now. And this month already, no, next month, March is like tomorrow, I guess, we will do an insider release, and we want you to become an insider. Because we really, I, nobody else cares, right? I really value your opinion. Like I did yesterday, I was eager to hear what you think, and I still am, right? Let's build this together. I would love to hear your thoughts about what we did wrong, what we could improve. I want you to use it on your projects, to try it, to make it your own, to customize it, do whatever you want with it. Just share me how it was. Thank you. And I'm very excited to see what you're built with Satoshi.